Hey everybody, as promised, Coach Prime, real name Kayla Lavelle, and Coach Fury, real name, it's not Coach Fury. We're going to talk about building in, we did a video about using the around the world, where we're pivoting and getting the ultimate sandbag behind our head, entering the transverse plane, the rotational plane. And we mentioned some setup steps that we want to build proficiency in before we go there. So we're going to talk about that now. So we're going to assume that you have a very good deadlift with the ultimate sandbag and a very good clean with the ultimate sandbag. So take a moment, think to yourself, do I own those two things? If you're like, keep working on those before you worry about this. If you're like, yes, Fury, 100%, affirmative, I've got it, then the next thing you want to check on is, do we have a lateral hinge and maybe a lateral clean? So Prime's going to deadlift the ultimate sandbag up, feet driving hard through the floor, pulling the handles parallel to the floor, nice apart. She's going to step to her right into her hinge, and then she's going to stand up, back into that position, right? So now we're in the frontal plane. We need to build proficiency here before we try to get explosive, like in the around the world, in the transverse plane, right? Because as we're building frontal plane stability, we're also creating some transverse plane resistance while we're doing it, right? So, steps. So the next thing is we're going to take that position and drive hard through the floor into a clean. Boom. Again, that power's coming from the floor. And now she's going to step and decelerate with the hips to the floor. And rest. You can actually pop it down there. Awesome. So, be like, hey, maybe that's where I got to spend some time before we go to the other video with you around the world. Lots to learn there. Again, own that pattern. Right? You're making sure the knee's not going out this way. The hips are going back over there. Power's coming through that foot. Now, you have that. We're going to assume we have that now into the next step. Now, what I like to do is I'll start people with a rotational deadlift. So, Prime's going to start at the back. I'll start this from where we know. Pulling the handles apart, we have this position. Now, we're going to do the pivot and go into our hinge. Drive through the floor. We come back up to neutral, and then we can transfer to the other side. The importance of this foot and that hip, internal rotation, is where all the money is on this. So she's going to drive through the floor and come back up to neutral. Now we're going to add some power. She's going to hinge to the floor and clean, do an outside in clean. Back to neutral, transfer, and then absorb, right, into the other side. You can rest, Prime. So these would be the prerequisites, because now from those two spots, right, if we've already go back to the previous video, yes, you're going to have to watch more of our videos. Tricked ya! Getting them views. Sorry, that's really not the purpose. We're just trying to help you out here. But if I go into that around the world from here, right, I've built up frontal plane power, frontal plane stability, transverse plane resistance. Now, I've got that pivot, and I can start working on that, right? Or remember, you don't have to go blazing fast when you start with these around the world. But they do lead to an important element of training, because everything in life, generally speaking, involves rotation. If you walk to turn this video off on your phone, or you're on your phone walking while watching this, you're multiplanar as it goes. The way that these moves tie the shoulder, core, and hip together, our sling systems, super important. It's not about how heavy it is, right? Start light. This is super new to a lot of people, even the lateral plane stuff. So be mindful as you enter into these, but they are planes of motion. They are part of movement. They are part of fitness. Hey, let us know what you think. Thanks, Prime. Yeah!